The Weston Park appointment the following Monday was intense. She had tests and scans for every part of her, and by the time they left at just after 1, she felt exhausted. "You want to go for some lunch, or straight home?" Heather asked, trying desperately not to be afraid for Claudia. She looked dreadful. "I'm sorry, Heather. Would you think me a proper wimp if I said I needed to go to bed? And we're back here again on Thursday." Heather hugged her. "We're over the worst. Thursday is simply results day, and then we can start to live again. Come on, let's get you home." "Claudia Bell?" Claudia stood and grabbed Heather's arm. They followed the nurse into the consultant's room, and he shook their hands. "I'm Paul Quentin, your consultant. We've now moved you out of Mr. Robson's care, as your treatment will be at this hospital." "Treatment?" Claudia swiveled her head to look at Heather, and once again clasped her hand. Heather felt inadequate. Fear was oozing out of Claudia, and as her best friend she should be comforting, soothing her. "Yes, Mrs. Bell. Can I call you Claudia?" He stood and walked to the light boxes on the wall, already loaded with scan pictures. He flicked the switches. "The cancer, I'm sorry to say, has spread." He pointed to the first picture. "This is your liver. There is a mass here." He outlined the shadow with a small pointer. "Can it be removed?" Heather could hear the panic in Claudia's voice. "It's always possible to remove a tumour from the liver. Your body can function with only part of one. But there is another issue." He moved across to the second screen, which was clearly Claudia's upper body. "There are small tumours, secondary cancers, which are here." He pointed to dark shadows in both lungs. He took down the first picture of her liver and replaced it with a third one. "And this is your pancreas. There is a small shadow here." He pointed. "Insignificant at the moment, but you have developed a very aggressive form of cancer, and it will grow quickly." He switched off the screens and came back to his desk. "We need to start a hefty regime of chemo and radiotherapy." He spoke for a further 5 minutes, outlining what drugs they would use, how she would feel, how often she would need to come in for the treatment. And Claudia's face was blank. She appeared to have switched off. Heather sat by her side, devastated. The recovery from the operation had left Claudia feeling so much better, and they had come for this appointment, expecting to be discharged back to the care of Mr. Robson. "Do you have any questions, Claudia?" Paul Quentin leaned forward and stared into her face. He had seen this reaction so many times, and knew the questions would happen next time he saw her. He was wrong. Claudia lifted her head, which was now feeling far too heavy for her to support it, and fixed her eyes on him. "How long do I have?" It was hospital policy to answer every patient truthfully and openly, and he hated it. "Without treatment, 6 months at the most. As I said, it is very aggressive. And with treatment, 9 months to a year." Heather gasped and tried to hide it. This couldn't be right. Claude was looking so much better. "And the treatment will make me ill?" So she had been listening. "Yes. We have to use an aggressive cocktail of drugs for such an aggressive cancer." Claudia stood and shook his hand. "Thank you for being honest and not sugarcoating it. Will you write to me with the next appointment?" He picked up his pen and checked his computer. He scribbled a note and pushed it across to her. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning." She pushed it back to him. "I can't. I have a funeral tomorrow." "Miss it," he said, and pushed the note back to her. "No." She turned towards Heather. "It's Heather's husband's funeral." Paul stared at Claudia. "Are you always this difficult?" "Yes." "Then can you be here Saturday morning? Or do you have another funeral?" "I can be here." "Good. Same time. And don't be late." Claudia sank back into the passenger seat.